After 2 years of extreme drought, the 2023 crop season was a breath of fresh air for everyone across the state, including all of us right here and along the edge country. Timely late spring moisture and mid-July heat has brought us a high-yielding winter wheat crop, which means it's all hands on deck to get the crop out in a timely manner. For me personally, it was the busiest harvest season I've ever worked, so I really just didn't have that much time to film this year. But guess what? We still got that drone up in the air here and there, and got to document some of the day-to-day of this year's harvest. Without further ado, I present to you the 2023 edition of Along the Edge.
We're off harvest 2023. Well, maybe. This is the test cut right now. We're just gonna see if it's dry enough to cut. So, taking the official sample to see how too wet of grain Matthew just cut, because he got impatient.
I wasn't the one that said the cut today.
So the guy who said we're not cutting till next week's the guy who said we're cutting today.
Yeah.
Any guesses on who that is?
Dad's trying to sabotage me.
And ultimately this will tell us if what we're harvesting is too wet. So we will...
A field moisture test did show that this field was indeed too wet. Guess we'll have to wait a couple of days before we can officially begin harvest 2023.
What the heck? Door won't open. He locked it. Just kidding, it works. Farmer Matt, update.
Step down towards you a little bit.
I'm gonna shut that off. Farmer Matt update. I can't find anywhere to cut where it's not wet. It looked like silage in the grain tank. It was bad. Sounds like we're gonna go ahead and move down to the breaks country, and hopefully that stuff will be dry down there. We've been using satellite imagery just to try to scout our fields from in the office and trying to gauge which ones are going to cut first, and we're still trying to figure out if that's the best way to do it. I mean, getting out in the field is, but long story short, according to the satellite, the breaks country is going to be the driest wheat for us right now. So we're going to head out there.
Do you want to leave a pickup up here so you can run over to Max's or McDonald's?
Matthew, what are you doing? $5 he doesn't know he hit the unload swing out button. He has no idea, look at it. He accidentally pushed the button.
What in the heck is that thing? There it is.
Several factors went into the decision to purchase a new combine, but ultimately, a second machine allows us to increase the amount of work that can be done in a day and decrease our reliance on custom cutter crews who are usually out on other jobs further south by the time we are up and rolling. This John Deere 9770 came up for sale in our area and proved to be a good fit for the operation. It's older and less capable from a capacity standpoint when compared to the Case IH 8230, but as a secondary combine, it'll get the job done.
Okay, so I'm running the green combine right now, trying to get the thing set up, figured out. This green stuff is a very foreign concept to us, and at the moment this combine was dropped off and it just got stuck in the field, so it's not set for anything. So I'm doing my best just to try to figure the machine out and get it set. We've got an extremely dirty tank right now. Looks like I need to go look at that. So we got this 4640 display in here, which is kind of unheard of to have a display this new. Combine's yelling at me. It's kind of unheard of to have a display this new in a combine of this age. For reference, this is what comes with the combine. Not touchscreen, it's all buttons. So yeah, kind of cool.
Hey everyone, Riley here, and today I'm giving you a tutorial on how to confuse your grain cart operator. Pretty simple. Sam, I'm blinking.
You don't get no sympathy from me.
Well, today we're working on some winter wheat. We've been in a couple of little smaller fields, and then now we kind of moved up into maybe about roughly 95 acres of winter wheat up here to the east of the county road, and just a beautiful setting down in here. Another fine day in the harvest fields of Montana, folks.
Yep. How many years you been coming out here?
Well, Riley, this is 17. Yep, 17 summers with the Slivka family. I never thought it would last that long, but it has. Yeah, it absolutely has. Been a great run.
Guess what? We're in the combine. We're combining things. Usually don't combine all that much, but this year we're just in a position where I've been in the combine more. Part of it is because we have two combines on the place now, meaning two of our own operators need to operate the combines instead of just one. And we're getting acres knocked out. This is winter wheat. This is fallowed winter wheat, meaning the previous year this field had nothing on it. It was fallowed. Because of that, we're seeing a yield bump in this field. It's doing very well for this field. Beautiful sunset behind me. We're just cruising along at about 3 miles an hour in the combine. And on a nice straight run,
getting it done. We'll be going into the night a little bit, trying to beat a rain system that's coming in.
Well, we got rained out. Don't have a whole lot of rain yet. There's very big clouds in the sky though. But it was just enough to make the straw too tough and the dust's gone. We have a lot of bushels flowing, so we're nervous about having too many bushels without enough tarps to put them under.
With rain delaying harvest, it's time to shift focus to some other tasks that need to get done. A group of Black Angus cow-calf pairs has been grazing out here in the breaks over the summer, but now it's time to get them moved out of this pasture, just down the road, and over to their next one. Just before completing winter wheat, there was one other crop to harvest. Camelina, which is an oilseed crop used as a feedstock for renewable diesel production. I'll cover Camelina more in depth in a separate video. We are about to finish winter wheat. I hope.
Oh, I guess we're gonna stop for lunch, supper anyway. I was gonna say we should think about getting the spring wheat bin set up.
Just about done with winter wheat. This is the last pass between us. It's not even a full pass. That John Deere can go. I can do a little bit more on my end. I'm just being a little shy, but that John Deere can go. That John Deere is a Class 7 and this combine's a Class 8. It has a 36-foot head, this is a 40-foot head. This is a newer combine, that's an older combine. But it's keeping up. We're gonna start some spring wheat now. Matthew is firing up the red combine. Red combine is doing spring wheat. We'll cart it to a truck back there. Meanwhile, over on the other side of me, you can't see it because it's over the hill there, but there is a hay barley team with the green combine, and they are cutting away at some hay barley over on just off the Lookout Ridge is what we call it. So we are split into an A team and a B team today, and let's see who wins. Let's see who finishes first. Both of these crops are low acreage crops, meaning less than 100 actually. I believe it's 80 some of spring wheat and 70 some of the hay barley. The spring wheat fields are, for the most part, pretty flat. It's that piece right there. And then there's another piece behind the grain bins over there. And then the spring wheat will be done. Why there is so few acreage of spring wheat, kind of a complicated answer. Grandpa and Sam, they're not around right now, which means I'll probably jump in that grain cart. The trucks are going straight to the elevator from this field. We are not bidding the spring wheat, which I just found out this morning. So the tricky thing with on-farm storage for us is
Winter wheat is usually about the only crop that can go to the elevator on harvest delivery straight from the field, meaning that we have to store all the barley on the farm. And the barley can end up being the last crop that we cut, as is the case this year. And so when you're in winter wheat mode and your winter wheat is yielding higher than predicted, you're using up more storage potentially with your winter wheat unless you are doing harvest delivery at the elevator or forward contracting more. So you start to get in a bottleneck of, am I gonna have enough room for barley? And that's what we hit and did a bunch of math based on predicted yield. We don't know the actual yield of the barley yet, but that barley has to fit on farm storage. And when you have X amount of winter wheat already in the on-farm storage and you only have a limited amount of on-farm storage, you could bottleneck yourself off really quick with that. So it's a hard game to play, but I think we're in good shape. It did mean that we had to vacuum grain out of one of the bins during harvest and go put it in a smaller bin. That was a lot of fun. We did that yesterday, but that's part of what you got to do sometimes. Can't be there to make every single decision happen perfectly. And sometimes, despite all your calculations, the numbers just come out differently.
The spring wheat only took a few hours to knock out, and the hay barley was wrapped up by that next morning. With malt barley ready to go, everybody grouped back up and we began knocking out the last few hundred acres of the 2023 harvest season.
Once again, we're having a little bit of starch on starch here. Chicken and noodles on mashed potatoes, a little starch on starch. It was in the 2016 video, and I probably still had this same shirt on. So I was gonna look before I came just to make sure, but anyway, a little starch on starch, but hey, pretty darn good.
Oh yeah.
You know, I showed up here in 2007 with the Slifka family. I was 51 years old. Now, just a few days ago, you've
done this for 17 years?
17 straight years. Today, anyway, he's 51 years old now. This is what the heck he got to look forward to.
I ain't doing this for 17 years.
Okay, it's good attitude. I like your attitude. Anyway, Riley, it's been a fun trip. Yeah, all the years with the Slifka family.
Oh yeah. Sam began coming out to help with harvest 16 years ago, and he hasn't missed a single year of harvest ever since. Every one of those years, he'd make a road trip out of it, opting to drive across the country rather than fly so that he could check crops in just about every state between here and Virginia. Early on, Sam dubbed himself the last professional cart driver and worked alongside several custom cutters and additional harvest help throughout the years. Harvest involves day after day of long hours and hard work. It's important to keep a positive attitude when working and try to find enjoyment in the small things. Sam, he's done exactly that. We can't be thankful enough for the years of service and good company that the last professional cart driver has provided throughout the years, right here in the middle of a Montana wheat field.
Last pass, getting it with the drone right now.
Right beside you guys? Can you run 4 miles an hour? Probably not, so I'll just trap the truck. 180